and it's to a very hot autumn day with temperatures in the 30s that we go down to the capital of the Lowveld, Nelspruit, for the start of the 5th Wesbank International Rally. That's the 3rd round of the South African Rally Championships. The man to draw number 1, he's gained 27 points for coming 2nd in the Valvoline Rally, Sarel van der Merwe, the Springbok, and his navigator, Frans Boshoff. A very successful combination, having won 11 South African Rally Championships. The second man away in a rebuilt motorcar, remembering that he had a very bad accident down in the Western Cape in the Nissan Rally. Hannes Grobler, this brand new car, he'd only done 2 kilometers in the car before the start of this Wesbank Rally.
Die volgende motor weg, Erik Sanders en Thilo van Westerhagen, nog geen punte tot dusver vir jaar in hulle kampioenskap aangeteken nie. Hulle het nog geen sukses behaal nie en hulle is in 'n klas A 4-wiel aangedrewe Toyota Conquest RSI. Dan die voorlopers in verjaarskampioenskapsreeks tot dusver. Serge Damsou van die Kaap, Vito Bonafide van Welkom se wêreld, 68 punte reeds agter elkeen van hulle se naam en hulle is die huidige voorlopers. Hulle gaan probeer om 'n 3de oorwinning te behaal in verjaarsreeks. Die tydren oor afstand van omtrent 1000 km is begin in die omgewing van Nelspruit, gaan oor na Witrivier, dan in die rigting van Sabie waar die manne die eerste keer gaan hergroepeer en Sarel van der Merwe natuurlik vandag in 'n klas B motor. Sarel, jy ry in klas B in hierdie tydren in Glense motor, waarom?
Ons het gister die karre getoets en daar is baie min verskil tussen die twee. Die klas A is maar bietjie vinniger. En op hierdie stadium met elke punt nodig wat ek kan kry en as ons op dieselfde posisie kan klaarmaak met al twee motors, sal jy waarskynlik 4 of 5 punte meer kan kry in die klas B kar. Dit is maar die enigste rede.
And as you can hear from Sarel, fighting for every single point. That's a feature of South African rallying this year. The cars are also being pushed just as hard as those crews can do it. Sarel in a 2-wheel drive Volkswagen, as you heard in that B-class car, and behind him he knows he's got the 4-wheel drives of the Toyotas of Serge Damsou, Eric Saunders, and the new 4x4 Nissan of Hannes Grobler. So he's really got to press on as you see him in the rough, tough, dusty forests of the Eastern Transvaal. And what a performance by this 11-time South African rally champion with his navigator, Frans Boshoff. The second man along, the one who's going to win this first stage, Hannes Grobler, in the brand new motor car that he's had rebuilt. He's being chased by Eric Saunders, giving it his all. This rally is on in a big way. It's known as the tough one, and it's starting to prove it. 55 starters got away a few minutes before this shot. We'll see how many are in fact going to finish at the end of the day. And you can see just how hard they do push it. The navigator telling him where to turn, how many meters he's got to go before he turns left. Hannes Grobler slowly away at the start of stage 2. Confident now. Nice start to the rally. He won stage 1 by just 2 seconds. Into stage 2, he's got this man, Eric Saunders, a refreshed Eric Saunders now, really on a charge behind him. And Serge Damsou, there he is, the man who won the first 2 rallies this year, down in Natal in the Valvoline, also down in the Western Cape in the Nissan International.
Glenn Hall en Martin Botha in hulle klas A Volkswagen Golf 16 klep motor. Dit is Sarel van der Merwe en Frans Boshoff se eintlike motor. Hierdie het nie gehoor waarom hulle omgeruil het. Frank Lindeman en Johan Sieling, die fonds van die tydren seisoen tot dusver in hulle Golf, wat ook daarop uit is om 'n goeie vertoning te lewer. En voor sy tuiskare is dit Cassie Coetzee en Wally Harrington in die nuwe era 3 liter Skyline in klas B. Dis die einde van sneldeel nommer 3 en dis Hannes Grobler.
And Hannes Grobler on a real charge as he comes to the end of the stage, but losing out a few seconds as he comes to have his scorecard marked. He lost 3 seconds to Sarel van der Merwe, who now goes into the lead in this rally just after 3 stages. And a bit of trouble there for Eric Saunders. Eric, pushing things a bit hard?
No, not really. I set the brakes onto the front at the start of the stage and there was so much happening I forgot about it, and first corner we came to, the brakes locked up in the front and we just slid into a tree. It's very minor really, it looks bad, but it's really not that bad. It doesn't alter the handling or anything else of the car.
And there's not a mark on the car of the spectacular Jannie Hubik and Douglas Judd. Both engineers, one a mechanical, the other a civil engineer. And it's Glenn Gibbons and Peter Cuffley going very quickly in that C-class Toyota Conquest. The All-Natal team is Tony Ball and Tony Babb in their Volkswagen Golf, putting up a grand performance. And then the Van Westhuysen's come along, the husband and wife team pressing on these very rough roads. And trouble there for Sarel van der Merwe, electrical trouble as it turned out, and this is at the end of stage 6.
Dit is in sneldeel 6 en ons het later verneem dat Sarel hulle eintlik om die waarheid te sê geen brandstof gehad het in hierdie stadium van die tydren nie. Posisies na die 7de sneldeel, Dit is by Sabi en jy kan sien dat Glenn Hall en Hannes en Frank hulle regtig daar besig is om die pap baie warm aan te maak, baie dik aan te maak, net meer as 'n minuut of so wat die verskil is tussen die eerste 3 motors. In klas B gaan dit ook baie kwaai tussen Frank Lindeman hulle en die res van die spanne daarso. Vroegoggend by Belfast, nadat die manne dwars deur die nag gery het, 18 uur aan mekaar en die toestand is baie stil, baie rof.
Cassie, hoe gaan dit vir die tuiskare?
Wel, Hendrik, ek is bly ons is hier vanoggend. Ons het natuurlik heeltemal 'n nuwe tipe motor wat nog lank gaan vat om baie betroubaar te kry as die vorige model wat ons gery het. Maar ek dink die potensiaal is daar. Dit is 'n kwessie van nou moet geduldig wees en tyd beoefen om alles in werkende orde te kry.
Dis die mis kwaai.
Die mis hier by Dullstroom was natuurlik lekker dik geweest. En by Belfast soos gewoonlik, altyd maar 'n mistig ou dorpie. En ek sien nogal uit om in die mis te ry.
And that's because he could see on his home ground looking very, very tired indeed. And after a night of dust and mist, they're into these 3 killer stages. And in this Wesbank rally, 55 cars started. At this stage, only 35 cars remain. This is what was thrown at them just before they stopped for breakfast after 18 hours almost continuously at the wheel of their motor cars. And down that way, Nuno de Cunha going very well. He's got Jannie Habik coming up through the field and chasing very hard. But these drivers, like Nuno, come from this part of the world and they know these roads well. Jannie Habik comes through, always spectacular, just misses that pole as he sets off into the mist. Hannes Grobler still going well, the captain of the Nissan team, now starting to keep his car on the rails, in there at that time in 3rd position.
En by die hergroepering by Belfast, na die baie harde nag wat agter die rug is dit Nuno de Cunha en Jannie Habik hulle wat 'n geweldige tweestryd het. Serge Damso hulle wat al reeds 'n byna 8 minute voorsprong het met Jan Everts hulle wat opgeskuif het deur die veld en al reeds in die 2de posisie is.
And as you can see, it's just those 43 seconds between Nuno de Cunha and Paul Rullard, the all Middelburg team, ahead of Natal's Habig and Douglas Judd. And certainly Habig on a charge, wanting to reduce that distance just as soon as possible. Lying 10th overall at the moment, leading Class D, the Volkswagen Golf of Louis Parsons and Rob Curry. And as the afternoon approached, it was Habig on a charge, and we asked him about his plan of attack.
I think we're going to set a pace and see what happens from there.
Now it's a Nissan in front of you, so is there any sort of team rules here?
I hope not, no.
And the first privateer at the moment was Paolo Piazzamusa, son of a famous Springbok rallyist.
At the moment we're lying 8th overall, 3rd in our class and 1st in the privateer section.
Tell us a bit about the rally. How's it been for you?
Well, the first stage was a bit of a problem. We collected a tree, which cost us quite a major problem. We damaged the front of the car quite badly, the radiator, the bumper, everything. And our biggest worry was the bumper is the most critical part to mount our lights, and without lights you can't drive in the night. So we slowly sorted that out, and then the steering rack picked up on us. But slowly we're trying to keep the car together to get there. Now the sight is the end is in sight, and we'll just try and get to the finish.
And these are the sort of stories you'll hear from all the crews recounting that sort of story. Well, the regroup in the afternoon with just those 5 stages to go was at Vonda Park in Acacia. And some very tired crews looking to a dirt stage and the 4 tar stages to the end of this race, finishing at the Swartkorps Raceway.
Baie groot belangstelling onder die mense van Pretoria en omgewing wat kom kyk het aan hierdie laaste paar snelhede. Die eerste ene van die laaste 5 is op 'n grondpad gewees en die laaste 4 was almal in teerseksies. Jy kan sien daar in die omgewing van Acacia tot by Boekenheidskloof en dan na Swartkorps. Serge Damso, Vito Bonafide, motor nommer 4, die 4-wiel aangedrewe Toyota Conquest RSI en hulle het in hierdie stadium daardie eislike voorsprong van by die 8 minute. Serge het vir ons gesê dat hy dit van nou af baie stadig gaan neem en dat hy net hierdie voorsprong van hom gaan konsolideer om seker te maak dat hy die 3de agtereenvolgende oorwinning in die huidige seisoen behaal. Seker een van die grootste tydren prestasies tot dusver in Suid-Afrikaanse tydren geskiedenis. Mens kan werklik sê as jy vir Serge Damso 'n motor gee, dan kan hy tydren of baanwedren daarmee wen. Jy sal onthou dat hy die vorige wedren, die Nissan internasionale wedren in die Kaap gewen het met 'n klas C motortjie en hier kom hy nou hier 'n uitstekende vertoning in die 4-wiel aangedrewe Conquest RSI en daardie motor trap so vas as wat hy kan. Dis moeilike toestande hierdie, dit is stof, is grondpaaie, diep slote aan die buitekant van die draaie en as die navigator of die bestuurder enige fout maak, dan kan hy net daar sy tydren ook beëindig. Maar dit kry mens nie van Serge Damso of Vito Bonafide nie, kampioen tydrenspan wat werklik tot dusver vir jare stewige vertoning lewer. Johan Evertse en sy navigator Steve Harding ook 'n goeie vertoning nadat hulle baie probleme gehad het. Hulle het in die boom vasgery in die tweede tydren in die tweede sneldeel. Hulle het onder andere ook oeps, en daar's 'n probleem. Hy het bietjie oorywerig daar na die skerp draai na regs, gebruik die handrem, gooi die motor om en onmiddellik trap hy weer weg. Hy het 'n half as gebreek en verskeie ander probleme gehad, maar in hierdie stadium in die tweede posisie en op pad om in daardie tweede posisie te eindig. Johan Everts is seker een van die beste tydrenjaars in Suid-Afrika. Hy kan daardie voorwiel aangedrewe golf van hom so goed hanteer soos wat enigiemand anders sy motor kan hanteer. Johan Everts is 'n werklike voorbeeld vir jong tydrenjaars. En kyk net hoe hanteer hy daardie motor deur die draaie, daai motor met klaar die tekens van 'n baie harde tydren, byna 1000 km agter die rug in 2 dae. Baie min slaap gehad en waar het gesê die manne gaan slaap glad nie, omdat hulle dan voel dat hulle nie die laaste deel van die tydren goed genoeg kan hanteer nie.
And it's over 24 hours that these crews have been on the go. They're tired, but they're still pressing on. The end of the rally in sight. This is the last dirt stage. Then they'll be going on to the tar. And finally, as we say, going to Swartkops. You can see there's a dicey one too. You don't want to make any mistakes. As Hannes Krobler, a great performance, making the debut of this car, that 4x4 Nissan Sentra, putting up a very good show indeed. Lying at the moment in third position. That's where he wants to stay. He doesn't want to push it any harder as we get onto the final tar stages. And it's Nuno de Cunha. He knows the battle is on. He's pushing as hard as he can, getting it all tangled up there sideways. He's got Habik behind him, and in fact Habik is now starting to close up. He's taking those seconds away from him. At the end of this stage, Habik had gone into the lead in this class by 43 seconds, or ahead of Nuno de Cunha. There's Habik now. He does it so well. He gets that big skyline sideways, always under control, and to the great thrill of the big crowds that come out to watch these rally cars in action. That's been a feature of the Wesbank rally, that you've had these big crowds. And listen to that glorious sound of that skyline as it goes away with all those 6 cylinders chiming away merrily. And Glenn Gibbons and Peter Cuffley, what a performance by this ex-motocrosser. Spectacular too, as he aviates that inside back wheel. Very good performance, leading Class C. The other winner of classes for Toyota, they won 2 of the classes in this rally and look unlikely to be beat. And there's Piazza Musso, the first privateer home.
En 'n probleem vir Skalk en Sue Burger, die enigste Mazda in hierdie tydren. Hulle het sonder enige probleme tot hier gevorder. 'n Papwiel ongelukkig hier in een van die laaste sneldele. Dit behoort hulle daarom nie te veel te kort weet nie, maar dit verloor mense veroorsaak natuurlik dat mense 'n groot klomp tyd verloor as jou motor so moet gaan stil staan. Sue en Skalk Burger. Ben en Isabel van die Westhuizen en hulle Klas C Toyota Conquest. Dis dieselfde motor waarmee Serge Damso hulle die vorige tydren gewen het. Jy sal onthou dat hulle daardie motor oorgeneem het. En hier is Serge Damso en Vito Bonafide in Boekenhoutskloof. Dis 'n spesiale toeskouer sneltraject wat daar aangelê is by Boekenhoutskloof van die Transvaal se provinsiale administrasie. En jy kan sien hoeveel mense kom kyk na hierdie tydren. Tydrenne is werklik 'n gewilde sportsoort dwars deur Suid-Afrika. Ons het dit in die Kaap gesien. Mense sien dit hier in Transvaal en die groot skare het werklike waardering vir die bestuursvernuf van hierdie span. Serge Damso en Vito Bonafide op pad na nog 'n oorwinning in verjaar se tydren kampioenskapsreeks. Hannes Grobler en Piet Swanepoel weer eens by Boekenhoutskloof en Johan Everts en Steve Harding kort op hulle hakke. Hierdie twee spanne jaag mekaar eintlik wat tyd betref. Hannes op die oomblik in die 3de posisie met Johan Everts in die 2de posisie en dis die tweede ronde van die 2 rondes wat hulle hier aflê by Boekenhoutskloof vir Hannes Grobler en Piet Swanepoel, terwyl Johan Everts nog op die eerste ronde is, maar Johan Everts al geel in hierdie stadium in die tweede plek met 'n paar sekondes tussen hulle en Johan en Hannes Grobler. Janie Habig weer eens dwars deur daardie draai. Hy laat die rubber baie dik lê daar om die draai. Janie Habig, sywaarts Janie Habig soos ons hom al ken van Natal, en die motor het die tekens van 'n baie harde tydren, maar weer eens Janie Habig met perfekte uitvoering van daardie bestuursvernuf wat hy het, daardie groot 3 liter Skyline in klas B, en op hierdie stadium het hy reeds by Nuno de Cunha verbygesteek.
And all over South Africa, they wait to see the spectacular man Habik, and he never disappoints them. On to the final stage of Swartkops racetrack, 2 kilometers, this time taken in the opposite direction. And not to be outdone, Serge Damso on the tar, on the dirt. He never disappoints them either, with Vito Bonafide just pointing him the way to the checkered flag and this race. Here he comes. He had to do 4 laps, and just as spectacular as easy. He said a little bit earlier that he was going to take it easy. He had that cushion. If this is taking it easy, he's got those battle scars you can see at the back there. If this is taking it easy, I'd like to see him going fast. What a driver. and the second man, Johan Everts, a tremendous performance by this crew. They were into trees, they broke side shafts, they were written off, they're aviating that inside back wheel. Steve Harding is just pointing the way to his second position, a grand performance by Johan Everts and Steve Harding. Hannes Strobler there, the 4x4, this is the rebuilt one. He spent a month building this car and it's got through to a great third position. Here's the second and third men in this Wesbank rally coming home to the checkered flag. And a big crowd came out to this meeting. There was almost as many as you'd get at a normal race meeting at the Swartkorps Raceway, out to enjoy these rally cars going so quickly. And then it was Nuno de Cunha, also showing that he can do it on the tar, being followed by the Nissan team captain, Hannes Strobler. But the winners safely through to the finish, that's Serge Damzu and Vito Bonafide. Serge, 3 South African rallies, 3 wins. This is becoming a habit.
No, I must say it's actually looks like this year is going to be the year. Before the Wesbank, I was looking forward to the event. I knew it was a very rough event, and to get to the end of the event, it was something major already. But I must say the Wesbank this year was very well organized, and the roads were a lot better than the year before. And it was a good event. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, I'm obviously very, very happy. My service crew has done an astounding job. Every time I get in the car, I break it, they fix it. So I've done very, very well, and I'm a happy man today.
So die algehele posisies aan die einde van verjaar se Wesbank tydren. Serge Damzu, Vito Bonafide, algehele oorwinning, ook 'n oorwinning in klas A. Everts en Harding in die Lindsay Suiker Golf in klas B. In klas C is dit Glenn Gibbons en Peter Cuffley in hulle Toyota Conquest. En klas D is die oorwinning daar agter die naam van Parsons en Curry in nog 'n Golf.
And Nissan, very happy to have taken the Manufacturers Award ahead of Toyota and Volkswagen.